Welcome back to Houston Life. It's time now for our H-Town Sit Down.
Let's meet today's guest.
Known as the Diva of Dining, Cleverly Stone's influence on Houston's culinary scene and philanthropy is unparalleled. Her local talk show, The Cleverly Show, was Texas's most popular and longest-running radio program about food. She was the founder of Houston Restaurant Weeks, the city's largest fundraiser of its kind, supporting the Houston Food Bank. She passed away in 2020, but her legacy continues through her daughter, Katie Stone, who is carrying on her mom's mission to beat hunger in Houston. And today, Katie joins our H-Town Sit Down.
And we have Katie Stone with us today. Come on out, Katie. Great to see you.
Hello.
Welcome
It's
to Houston
nice to
Live.
see you guys. Thank you so much for having
Welcome
me.
to the show. You look so much like your mom.
my goodness.
It's a trip.
I know.
Do people say that to you all the time?
They do, and sometimes I feel badly because I feel like they get very upset and emotional, and I can't help it. But
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
comes from a good place.
Yes,
you know, they
it
see your
does.
eyes, and we see her
Yes,
in you.
Same eyes. It's the exact same eyes. I've taken pictures and held them up, next to each other. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's also hard to believe. It was May 28th, 2020.
Yes.
Your mom passed away, so it's
Yep.
been more than 2 years. How are you doing? And tell us about the foundation and the work, because it never slowed down.
Yeah, no, there really wasn't time to do anything because Houston Restaurant Weeks, is August 1st and runs through the entire month. She passed away at the end of May. She was really sick for about a year and a half, and so a lot of the work that would have been done just, hadn't gotten done. So we were kind of in a scramble to get things going because, as you remember, back in 2020, it was right at the start of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We had no idea what restaurants were, if they were going to be open, if they were going to be allowed to be open. But we understood that we really needed to run the event because they needed the revenue, they needed the business, they needed the drive. And that's what Houston Restaurant Weeks has done. It's turned August, which is usually their slowest month of the year, into their most profitable month of the year.
It really was, she was so ahead of her time to really come up with this idea and to support these restaurants that she loved so much, and to have this legacy continue. How special is that for you?
Oh, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, I can't even tell you, how many people, even every week I get emails and messages from people that she touched and people that she helped. And it really kind of transcends even just the restaurants and, even the food bank. During August, there would be a lot of restaurant layoffs because restaurants weren't that busy. I would be with my mom when we would be in a restaurant and, a valet, guy or girl or a server would say, thank you so much for everything you've done because I'm working this month and I can, buy new shoes for my daughter who's going into kindergarten because I'm working and I usually wouldn't be working. So that leaves a mark. That's. Yeah.
Without question,
Yeah.
She has left her mark
Yeah.
on the city. And I think a lot of people, because she is so ingrained in the food culture and philanthropy culture of Houston, people don't realize she moved here from New York City in 1989. She was working for Foley's at the time, the department store.
Yes.
And it was all through, this was before the internet. And so when she started blogging about food, it really was just like she was faxing her friends restaurant information. It's incredible. Can you tell us more about that time in her life?
You are absolutely correct. This was way before social media. She was, we moved here from the East Coast. Foley's moved her here, and then eventually she started working for the Houston Post, and she was an editor, and she had a weekly column with her photo in the newspaper, and that was a big deal back then, you guys. This was before Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, so having a color photo of yourself in a major newspaper was a big deal, and so it really just kind of grew. Her brand, so to speak, and her mission just kind of grew from that. And yeah, she was pounding away at her typewriter. I still have that typewriter.
Oh, thank God.
Awesome.
Yes, I do. She would pound away at the typewriter, all hours of the night. And she created what really was the first and only foodie, restaurant chef newsletter in the city. And she did it all by hand.
I think today, when she's looking down at this city and seeing the recognition that Houston is getting, and just in the last 12 months, in the last 9 months, she'd be so proud.
I think she would, and I think she would be extremely proud just because she would understand what that has done for the community. Houston Restaurant Weeks, the core of the event, of course, was to help restaurants in the Houston Food Bank, but it was also to get people out of their comfort zone and trying new restaurants. there are restaurants outside the loop, you know, and that was kind of a big deal back then too. It's like, go and try these different cuisines. Maybe you might not have thought to try a particular type of cuisine. Well, here you can do it during Houston Restaurant Weeks for a valuable, you know, good price, fixed price, and have multiple courses and try, you know, different things. So, you know, just understanding the impact that has in the city. I mean, it's hundreds of millions of dollars that translates and kind of trickles down into all of the service providers. And I think, you know, she's still up there directing.
Yes.
Oh yeah. That is for sure. We all feel it. I mean, we feel her in everything that we do for sure. And so that's a blessing.
And Wine and Food Week, of course, is back. We're so excited this is back, and she's going to be honored during this event.
Yes, this was one of her favorite events, you know, and I have a T-shirt, a very old Wine and Food Week T-shirt that I wear quite often. That, you know, she loved this event. She was a longtime judge, and you know, she had them on her radio show very often, and she loved the people who were running the event, and it was for a good cause, and so many wonderful chefs up in the Woodlands too. You know, it's such an amazing area and just a bustling area, and so I'm so honored that they are inducting her into the Hall of Fame. I think it is just a wonderful cause, and I'm so honored that they are including me in participating in the events. And this will be my first time going. I've never been to the event. Have you guys been to the event before? Or?
Years ago.
Yeah. So this will be my first time, so I'm excited. Every day they have different events, and so Saturday is the kind of the big, you know, wine grand tasting event and the judging where all the chefs come out, and so I'll be there on Saturday accepting the award on her behalf.
Fantastic and well-deserved on this award. Katie Stone, thanks so much for stopping by, and thanks for continuing the mission that your mom worked so passionately to create.
I have a lot of help, so that is a blessing as well. So thank you guys so much.
Of course, and congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
For more information about Wine and Food Week, head over to our website, HoustonLife.tv.
I'm hungry just talking about it, by the way.
And thirsty.
Okay.